Good day, good day, good day, and welcome to the Link Show. Absolutely wonderful to have you with us. My name is Dougal, and this is Rhoda.
Yeah. Good day, everybody, and welcome to the Link Show.
And also we have Beryl with us. So welcome to the Link Show. Absolutely wonderful to have you with us here at the beginning of August as it is TVET month. Now, of course, here at Northlink, you know this is industry leaders, very well known in the TVET sector as well as in the education sector. We're going to talk all things Northlink. It is a very, very exciting show, and it is an interactive show, Rhoda.
That is so true. So guys, remember, you need to hook in and listen, and if there's any questions, send those questions through, and don't forget, you need to like and share this video.
Yeah, very exciting. So we look forward to your questions and comments as part of the show. So what the show is all about, let's quickly give you a brief overview. We want to find out everything about Northlink, of course, the big picture about Northlink. And we're going to be talking to marketing recruiters as well during the course of the show. But it doesn't stop there, because we're even going to address funding as well, because I definitely want to be finding out a little bit more about that. Yeah, and then why not speak about one of the courses that is there as well?
Definitely, and one of my favorites, which is got to do with my hair.
All right, yeah. So yeah, she's got her favorite. I know what I will be looking forward to as well. And then, you know what? Anything always gets measured when there's a bit of proof in the pudding as well. Definitely. So we will hear from a student as well, just to get a bit of a perspective as well. So very, very exciting stuff that the Link Show is all about, and we're really, really looking forward to your contributions as well. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it.
Let's get stuck into it. That is so.
Now let me set it up this way, because I want to mention this to you. So we're going to be talking to marketing recruiters first, just to give us a bit of an overview of what Northlink and what we offer you at Northlink College, that is all about. So joining us this afternoon to discuss this with us, and let me just say, I said this earlier, leaders in the industry, and especially when it comes to the TVET sector and the education sector. And now we find ourselves in a new normal.
Oh, yeah.
The adaptation has happened. Yeah, it is. So joining us to discuss this and everything around Northlink College, of course, is Damien September and Mohale Manyane, marketing recruiters, joining us today. Gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you very much for being on the Link Show.
Good afternoon, everybody.
How are you guys doing? Are you well?
No, we are fantastic. And yourself?
Fantastic. Listen, I want to get straight into it and actually get you the first question there I want to ask you. Can you guys just give the audience a sort of brief overview of Northlink? Somebody that might just be hearing it from it for the first time.
Okay, yeah, fantastic. So Northlink College is a public institution, a TVET college, a technical vocational educational training institution. Northlink is based in the northern suburbs in the Bellville area. All of our campuses are based here. Northlink was established in 2002, where four colleges merged together to become Northlink College. So next year we will be celebrating our 20th anniversary. So how we came about our name as well is because of the geographical location of the colleges, which is in the northern suburbs, north, and the colleges being linked together. That's how we came about Northlink College. So as I said, we are a public institution. We are governed and funded by the Department of Higher Education and Training, or otherwise known as DHET. And we also have various bursary opportunities, which will be covered by my colleague later on.
So that's quite interesting to hear. So could you tell me how many campuses does Northlink have, and where are they located? So there's a lot of students out there just wanting to know exactly where do they need to go.
Northlink College is based in the northern suburb. We are operating from 7 campuses. We have got 3 of our campuses, which is Belha, Belleville, and your Wingfield, which are focusing on the engineering studies. And we have got Tigerberg, that is mainly focusing on the mated programs of the business and general studies. We have got Pero and Protea, which are focusing on the NCV as well as the general studies as well and business. And we have got Goodwood, that is mainly looking at your ECD and your EduCare. That is basically our campuses, of which we have as Northlink College, which are 7 of them in total.
Oh, excellent. And then if I may ask, your target audience, obviously because we're looking at different age groups, those that has left school, who is your target audience?
Okay, so yeah, our target audience is obviously your school learners at high school currently. We have out of school youth that we deal with in communities. We also have started targeting industry, so companies that we also now approaching to do career talks to. We also work with various NGOs, NPOs, as well as community leaders. So anybody, children as young as 13 years old can start applying to colleges, to Northern College, as a TVET college, as we offer pre-matric courses, and up to any age for anybody wanting to either get a national diploma or just needing to get upskilled in a certain course or industry that they are studying or working in currently.
Thank you, Damien and Mohale for all those answers so far. So we've got various comments and questions also coming in from our viewership today. So thank you very much for that. We will get to some of them in just a moment. But what I want to ask you, gentlemen, as well. Of course, now we're in COVID time. So how do you engage? We spoke now about a target audience. How do you engage with them during this time, during the pandemic, during COVID?
Yeah, so we have actually started now with the Teams and Zoom meetings where certain schools do have the capacity to accommodate us. So we have done quite a few Teams meetings with schools as well as working with the education departments where they've arranged where we could actually speak one-on-one with principal, teachers, learners, as well as communities. But we also still do get the opportunity to engage with certain schools where they still allow us to come and visit the schools. So what we've actually now done as institutions, the schools allow us onto their premises, but we actually then exhibit from our vehicles. So we will either go into a parking area or the sports field, and we will actually then set up a table with our branding and everything, and then we will actually have the students coming obviously in an open air environment to engage with us. So yeah, there is opportunities, but we do various career expos at certain industry schools. We are part of an organization called CCA, Cape Careers Exhibitors Association, that arranges various expos. So yes, we do still do the face-to-face, but we are slowly moving into the online platform where we do Zoom and Teams meetings with the industry and schools.
Definitely sounds like you're definitely moving with the times, which is absolutely brilliant.
That is so good to hear. And then obviously there's career paths. So students would like to know, what can they go and study? What is the career path options that you have? And then what is the difference between vocational versus occupational? I mean, that's quite a question there.
All right, with vocational is all about focusing on the education and training that is specifically prepares the learners for jobs that are based in manual and practical activities. With occupational, obviously, with the programs that we are offering, of which are related to trades, now at the end of the programs, students are now employable. They are able to now go out into the corporate world and get to apply the skills of which they happen to apply from to inquire from Northlink College. So now that is basically what we are doing more especially in terms of the skills programs. whereby now with the in-service training of which the students get to be taken to at the end of the programs, and as well as the daily practicals that the students happen to get from the programs of which they are doing, it's that of which gets to be the response to the economical crisis of which we have as a country, whereby we have got a shortage in terms of the artisans, technologists, the electricians. So the programs of which we are offering, they are that of which are into those are serving as that response, whereby they're going to resolve the crisis that we are having of the shortage of artisans. And it's that of which in terms of the occupations, immediately when they finish with the programs that we offer, they are then employable. And at Northlink College, we do that with the assistance of our well-trained and qualified academic staff.
Thank you, Mohale. Now, you mentioned there the word occupation. So this obviously brings up the question now. What qualifications, or what type of qualifications are offered at Northlink College?
So we have got, in terms of the engineering, of which it's much of them, we have got your spray painting and panel beating. We have got electricians as module. We have got your plumbing. We have got boiler making. We have got welding. It's a couple of them. Just to name a few, those are some of the programs of which we are offering that will specifically take the students into the trade of which they would want to go into and sharpen that skill of which they have and the passion that they have.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. So the next question, which I think is quite important for a lot of students, is your study period options. What are available to students, prospective students then basically?
In terms of the study duration and all that, we have got programs of which are offered in full time. So students have got an option of going into full time, or they can enroll and do the programs on part time, or they can enroll for our distance learning, which we are offering in specific engineering courses. And the inquiries can be done at our Goodwood campus for distance learning.
Thank you, gents. Thank you. So what I would want to know now, with the facilities that are available at Northlink, and I want to ask this question twofold, okay? So firstly, I would like to know the facilities that are available at Northlink College. But in addition to that, when we speak to COVID compliance, how do we stand there?
So obviously with COVID compliance, most of the things are no longer now as before, as we are now in the new normal, as we already said. So the numbers have been cut down specifically, for instance, in terms of the facilities, our gym. The gym that we have now, for instance, if we were taking 100 students in the gym, we cannot take that 100. So the numbers have been cut down, accommodation as well. There are preventative measures of which have been done, whereby the setting is no longer the same as before. So we are very COVID compliant, as we are doing our best as well to cap the spread of the virus.
Thank you very much. Do you know what, gents, Rhoda, I like the picture that you are painting. We absolutely love it. It is fantastic, and it sounds very, very, very exciting. Now, gentlemen, if you don't mind, I actually want to turn your attention quickly to some of the questions and comments that have come through from people viewing the show right now. And thank you very much for that. Thank you for watching the Link Show. So we've got a whole bunch of comments there as well, and I'm going to definitely select a few there that we have that has popped up. So firstly, thank you very much. I see you, Yolanda Boy is watching. Thank you very much. Zizi is watching. June Hugo is watching. Kasani is watching. Bar is watching. Zuko is watching. So one or two of the comments that have come through says, I've always appreciated my involvement with your college for many years, so I like that. Brilliant comment. And then I've got a question, and I want to pose this to you quickly, and I will keep it anonymous. It says, I passed my matric in 2015. I did maths, physical science. I failed maths, then got symbol D, and I want to know if it is possible to do a part-time course at your college.
Yes, obviously, depending on if a student wants to go into business studies, definitely they can apply for part-time studies. However, if they're looking at the engineering program, then obviously based on availability, but our part-time studies is more focused on our business studies at the moment. But they can visit our website at northlink.co.za just to find out more information on what courses are available and what they can apply for part-time. But for now, the focus has been generally on our business studies for part-time studies now.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And I definitely hope that answers your question. And then also I want to pose another question to you who says, can anybody over the age of 35 qualify for a learnership or an opportunity to study full-time?
Learnerships, that would probably be best answered through our WIL department, our Work Integrated and Learning. They can actually also visit our website or even contact our head office at 021 970 9000 and ask to speak to our WIL department, which is Work Integrated Learning. They actually have all the necessary information on that, but also on our website will give the requirements for applying for learnerships and apprenticeships.
And then, gentlemen, what is definitely going to be a big question, and I will leave it at this question and comment, is like, so really, how do one apply? How do you enroll? What do you do now?
Okay, so Northlink College has, as of this year, we started going online, as most universities are already doing. So if a student is interested in applying for any of our courses, they can visit our website, www.northlink.co.za. They register onto the site. It will then give them access to our application form. Students then needs to scan in a copy or certified copy of their ID and a certified copy of their highest results or the grade 12 results. Send it through to us, and then we communicate to them via SMS. So once the application has been received, we will inform them that there is the application has been received. Applications then go through to the program managers of that said course, and then they will be communicated to from there if they have been accepted or not. And then if they are accepted, they will also then be sent registration dates when they need to come and apply or register at the college, and with all the necessary documents that they need to bring along as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And there is a couple and a few more questions and comments, of course, there. And I'm sure you gentlemen will definitely reply to that. So, Damien September, Mohale Maniana, which are both of them are marketing recruiters. Thank you very much for your time today on the Link Show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful talking to you, gents. And they've certainly painted a picture, Rhoda, which is what I love. They've painted a wonderful picture, and really we get to understand what Northlink is all about.
And you know, just the initiative and how they've made these changes. And I mean, just this show itself, you know, it just shows you how they've taken the step to where we're at right now with COVID, having to basically put this information out there to all our students, you know. Wow, done to you guys.
And this is certainly something. So we kind of have a sense, huge amount of courses available, great opportunity, dealing with COVID-19 protocols, all of that. But now that is all exciting. That is all exciting, but if it's unattainable due to financial reasons, and we know that's an elephant in the room for most people,
that is so
and for everybody. And that is why we actually want to talk to Clive Dube. So we're going to bring out our next guest out here on the Link Show, and Clive Dube is a bursary officer. Awesome. So he is going to be stepping into the hot seat next, and we get to ask him questions. And as always, of course, this is interactive, and we appreciate and welcome your comments and questions for our guest today. So Clive Dube, good afternoon. Thank you very much for making time and joining us here on the Link Show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. And how are you?
Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. So what we want to talk to you about, of course, is financial assistance and financial relief. And we want to get into we want you to take us through the steps, whether this even exists, whether it is possible, and all of that. So let me ask you that. Is there financial assistance? Yes or no?
Yes, there is.
Okay, I like that. Now, can you tell us then, Clive, who is your service provider for student financial aid?
As my colleagues have already said, there are occupational programs that Northlink offers. Those programs are mainly funded by SETAs. And then the other programs are ministerial programs, that is your NCVs as well as your Report 191 programs. So those programs are mainly funded by the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, which is popularly known as NSFAS.
Ah, excellent. And of course, when a person applies, when a prospective student applies, then that information will be then obviously communicated with the prospective student.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Clive, I think the very big question, and this is what everybody is asking obviously, is how do you apply for this? What's the processes that you need to follow to be able to get this funding?
So mainly I'll focus on the NSFAS because Northlink offers mainly on the ministerial programs, which, as I said, is NCVs as well as the Report 191. So if a student has got an intention of enrolling at Northlink for those particular programs, to apply for funding, one has to, because NSFAS normally opens the application period prior the previous year prior to registration. So a student simply goes onto the website and then they apply for funding. But then unfortunately, in most cases, they miss that opportunity. So then they are given another opportunity at registration, which then it is known as the walk-in application process. So one applies at the campus on the day of registration.
That is definitely exciting stuff.
You know, Clive, I'm just listening to you now. You know, one of the bigger problems I always find, and people are always complaining about this, is that, you know, they'll come and they want to apply and they need all this documentation, and they always tend to have the wrong documentation. They're either missing some documentation or they need to be certified, or somehow they miss out on some of these things. What documentation do you need to apply?
In order for one to apply, they need their own ID copy, the applicant's ID copy, and then the ID documents of the parents or guardians in the case where the parents are non-existent, in the case where they have passed away, as well as the pay slips, obviously, to determine whether they do qualify financially. So those are the key documents that one needs to supply when applying for funding. Obviously, those copies must be certified.
Every single one of them needs to be certified.
Wow.
Every single one of them must be
That's
certified.
one of the problems that you're always sitting with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other question, obviously, being with NSFAS, having the problems, obviously, that we had regarding time. You know, I'm always saying that everybody needs to apply on time. So how long does it take before you actually get a response from NSFAS? How long does it take? Because I think that was one of the bigger questions we had last year regarding, you know, we know they're getting responses from NSFAS.
Okay, so a complete application, in other words, all the documents that I've just mentioned now, if a student has submitted them, all of them in the right format, in other words, they've been certified. So an application should take more or less, in a month's time, they will know the response of their application. So in order to track that funding, one needs to have what is known as a My NSFAS account. In other words, you register on the system, and then you've got a profile where you can log in at any given time to track your funding.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, Clive, we've got lots of questions, of course, because we're talking finances that are coming in via the comments as well to the show. And thank you very much for that. And we will definitely address some of those questions with you in a few seconds. And in fact, I actually want to go to one of them right now, if you don't mind. And thank you very much for this question, Rencio. It says, so with regards to funding, is there an age bracket? How does it work? Is there a cutoff?
Not really. As my colleague Damien said, once we are accepted to enroll for those approved qualifications, then everyone stands a good chance of getting funding as long as they meet the qualifying criteria. So there is no age limit.
Okay, and I think that certainly will answer Rich's question. We do have one or two more comments that I will post to you in a short little bit.
Yeah, so I've got a question for you, Clive. So now I've got my NSFAS, I've actually qualified, and I'm now at Northlink and I'm studying. My question is, say when it happens, if I don't pass all my subjects, how does that affect my funding from NSFAS? Does it affect my funding from NSFAS?
Yes, it does. Obviously, everything comes with terms and conditions. So NCV course, one is doing 7 subjects. So out of those 7 subjects, a student is required to pass at least 5 out of the 7 subjects. So they are given that leeway of at least failing, but they need to pass a minimum of 5 in order to continue receiving funding. So once you fail more than 5, then you don't qualify to continue receiving funding. As for the NATED programs, which is 4 subjects, one is to pass a minimum of 3 subjects. If you fail more than the 3, then unfortunately you don't qualify to receive funding. You have to self-fund to repeat the failed subjects. Then once you have passed those failed subjects, you may receive funding again, obviously taking into account the regulated time in order which to complete the program.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
that,
thank
Clive.
you. That helps.
Clive, I want to ask you a question that we also got in a comment that came in from Jabbar, who says, now, in the instance of a bursary such as this, will the funding, will there be cover to fund for South African Sign Language interpreter, let's say when a student that happens to be deaf wants to enroll?
Well, everyone stands a good chance, as I said, but they have to enroll for a funded program. So if the program that they want to do is within the programs that are known as ministerial programs, then they stand a good chance of getting funding as long as they meet the funding criteria. So it doesn't discriminate in terms of your abilities and your disabilities. So everyone stands a good chance of getting funding.
Yeah, and one more question that I want as well, which came in from Elon, that I want to pose to you quickly, is NSFAS the only bursary that the campus offers?
Currently, NSFAS is the majority funder of our students doing NCV as well as Report 191. So as far as I know at the moment, that is the majority funder.
Okay. Thank you very much. Clive, Dube, you know what? There is lots of comments and lots of questions there. And I'm sure you will get back to all of them and answering them. And I just once again want to just stress thank you very much for those questions and comments that have come through. And we will definitely keep asking them as well. But Clive Dube is the bursary officer, then of course at Northlink College, and he assists with all of that. And it is absolutely wonderful that he said that it is there.
Oh, yes,
Which is cardinal, Rhoda.
That is so cardinal. And, you know, we've always been saying, you know, what, you know, you're always asking, how can I go study? How, you know, because I don't have the funding for it. Well, Northlink basically have the funding where you can apply for this. And obviously there is cut-off times as well, so you need to apply as soon as you can. Yeah,
and once again, thank you very much to Clive for explaining it so succinctly.
Oh, yeah.
And not that. I mean, the information is available. What you got to do, get the enrollment process going. Go to www.northlink.co.za. It's that simple. Go check it out. It is there. And then this brings us, so we've spoken to, just to give you a recap, and you were here right at the time, so we've spoken to Clive Dube. We've had Mohala Manyana on. We spoke to Davey in September, the marketing recruiters. We've just spoken to a bursary officer. But I think it is time that we get really stuck into the nuts and bolts and find out about some of the courses. Now, at the top of the show, you were very vocal, very excited about this. Very excited about this.
Right.
Because you said we're going to be talking hair care.
That is right, Dougal. So we've got an expert on the show today, and it's one of our lecturers at Northlink that's going to be telling us a bit more about hair care and aesthetics. So that is quite interesting. I love the topic.
Yeah, so joining us then for this is Helmine Krokamp, and she'll be here. So Helmine, thank you very much for joining us here on the Link Show. Firstly, let me just say, how are you? And welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm good, thanks for asking.
Yeah, wonderful. Listen, for many hair is the most prized possession. Not for everybody, let's be honest. But for certain people, it certainly is the case. Now, Northlink's got a hair academy as well. And we're talking now not just theoretical, but practical training for students. And there's so many questions that come into my mind now. Is this open for the public? I mean, what is happening? So where is this hair academy situated? What is this all about?
We actually have a hair and beauty academy.
Oh.
So it's situated at Parow campus.
At Parow campus, that is where you're situated?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I mean, if you could tell me, is there a criteria that I need in order to, let's say, study hair care?
Not really. Anybody between 16 and 60 can join us. Anybody who would like to be a hairdresser or a beautician.
Oh, okay.
Okay, excellent. So, well, I think the big question as well, you know, and this has come back again, unfortunately, and I think fortunately as well, to funding. Does the hair courses fund, or have you self-funded as well? So, you know, just clarity on that one.
At the moment, we self-funded, depending. Sometimes we get lucky and we get bursaries for our students. For the past 5 years, we had bursaries. The last students with bursaries ended now in June. So at the moment, we self-funded.
So my question to you, Almin, is, you know, now I've studied, I've done the course, I'm now qualified. So from this point on, when I'm successfully completed the course, is there any opportunities out there? How would it work for me locally, internationally, basically?
There is a lot of opportunities for hairdressers and beauticians. The majority of our students are self-employed, and from their second year, which is level 3, they pay for their own studies by doing hair, or the beauty students by doing makeup and nails. So yes, there's lots of opportunities. International, also lots of opportunities. Our trade test is accepted by the EU countries and New Zealand and Australia. So you have the world as your oyster.
It definitely sounds exciting, because I was going to ask you, you know, and since we talk, and of course Rhoda mentioned international, so obviously that accreditation is there, that yes, qualification will stand you in good stead. But I want to get into the nuts and bolts of this. So what can a person expect at the Hair Academy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can expect training from day one. You get stuck into mannequins, that is a face with hair, a plastic face with hair, and you learn to cut hair, to blow dry hair, to perm, and to tint, and to highlight, and to do a Brazilian, and to do a relaxer, and to plait and weave.
And
it's a 3-year course, but right from day one.
And Almin, if I may ask you, so so like you say, you learn how to plait, relax, do all these wonderful things. Even if when you enter the course, if you have a zero existing skill already, would that be a problem or not?
No, it's no problem at all. Obviously, there's a spectrum of students. So some of the students are very handy already with hair, and mostly they are the ones that will be able to pay for their course by middle of their second year. Those who need a little bit longer and is a little bit slower, practically, we accommodate everybody.
Okay, and this is all happening at the Hair Academy. Now, I know Rhoda is going to ask you something in a short little bit, but I just wanted to get absolute clarity with this. So, at the Hair Academy, students are being taught everything around hair. Now, there's somebody, Joe Public, I mean, who would you practice on? And this is the question that Rhoda is going to ask you now.
Well, COVID depending, we practice on the public and, as previously mentioned, the mannequins. At the moment, unfortunately, we don't have business units for hair and beauty. But as soon as we are allowed, we would obviously do that again. It's good practice for students, and it's a great community service.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds it. Now I want to ask you. So the course in this, how long is the course? Is there a short course, or is it a year?
The beauty course is a year, cosmetology is a year. The hairdressing course is 3 courses, 1 year each. So level 2 is a course on their own, level 3 a course on their own, and level 4 a course on their own. But being able to complete your studies, you need level 2, 3 and 4. So it is a 3-year course.
Okay, so a 3-year course for that.
Oh, 3 years.
And I'm assuming that this is a very, very popular course.
I was just going to say.
Look, it is a very popular course, but unfortunately, especially with the pandemic and not being funded at the moment, we would like it to be more popular than what it is currently. Yes.
No, thank you very much, Alvin Krogram. Now, I know Rhoda's got some questions here from the comments that are coming through. You want to pop some of those through?
Yeah, I think it's very much, more on, there was one on the hair, if I just saw that correctly. Yeah, so there was a question from Jabbar having to ask, I have many deaf who really would like to do hairdressing. Problem is, will Northlink provide us with funding? South Africa Sign Language interpreter. That was one of the questions.
Yeah, and also,
honestly, I have no idea. I think for special cases like that have to be handled individually.
Yeah. We got you, and also I think that was as Sky Dube earlier mentioned as well. Once you open the communication channels, of course, all of those issues are taken into consideration, and then it gets addressed there as well. So it sounds very exciting, and Almin, thank you very much for sharing a little bit of insight into a very, very exciting, just a career path, but also a great study opportunity when it comes to hair care and aesthetics.
Pleasure.
And that is Halmeen Krokam there. So, like she said, I like that because just think about it. In normal circumstances, obviously, as she painted the picture, it is now during the pandemic, so it is very difficult for the public to get an appointment. But this is brilliant, and it is another. So you get that practical experience if you do this.
Oh yeah, and I love that because how are you going to become an expert if you're actually not going to practice?
Yeah.
So
and it is brilliant. So just keep your eyes there. Keep your eyes there. Book an appointment as soon as you can. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I should do one.
I was just going to say, Dougal, I think you need to.
But this is what the Link Show is all about. The Link Show is bringing you information, of course, with all the exciting offerings for you at Northlink, and it is just absolutely fantastic.
So fantastic.
So we've heard from the, just to recap, Rhoda, we've heard from the marketing recruiters. We spoke to Clive Dube.
Oh yeah.
Which was the bursary officer. Halmeen Krokam gave us a little bit of insight into some of the exciting stuff that happens at the college as well. But really, the proof is in the pudding, isn't it?
It is definitely.
Don't you think so?
I think so as well. And the best thing to do is actually to hear from one of the students that's been there. Yeah.
That will be really exciting. So we're really looking forward because Megan is going to join us, and Megan is a former student at Northlink, and this is really exciting because not only is this August month, we're in the beginning of Women's Month as well. So I'm loving the fact that we're actually talking to Megan, which is going to be brilliant. So we're going to have a quick word with Megan. Megan, good afternoon. Thank you very much for coming and joining us here on the Link Show. How are you doing?
Hi, hello, I'm good, and thanks for having me here.
No, it is absolutely wonderful. And look at you, you've got the uniform on, overall or something here. That's Megan Brockman that is joining us. So, Megan, here you are. It is Women's Month. What do you currently do? You're working currently, right?
I am working, yes. I'm working currently
Yeah?
For the past 4 years, I've been working very hard.
That is exciting. And just to give the audience a quick know-how, you obviously you studied at Northlink.
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what did you study?
Okay, so I studied at Northlink in South.
Okay.
And I studied to become a boilermaker.
A boilermaker.
Wow.
So
Yes.
a boilermaker, that is what you studied.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I'm quite excited, Megan, because I am all for women empowerment, and Dougal knows I'm passionate about that. So I'm quite excited seeing you sitting there with that uniform, and oh yeah, you know, this is supposed to be so-called a man
The
talk,
woman
and I'm
man.
very impressed that you're sitting there right now. So can I ask you, from me to you, what choice, you know, did you, what did you decide to pursue this career in engineering? I mean, wow.
Okay, like I was thinking about it, and to be honest with you, I didn't choose engineering. Okay, so I didn't choose engineering. Engineering chose me, because to be honest with you, when I was in matric, so I had friends of mine. They wanted to become hairdressers, doing nails. So I didn't see myself as that. So you know what? By choosing engineering, engineering made me realize of how strong of a female I really am. You know, there were many times when we females, we break down, because, I mean, at the end of the day, we are in a man's world.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And for us that we are the females and we are in this field, we need to prove ourselves that we can do what men do.
Yeah.
Even though it's a man's world, we belong here. This is our trade. So it's to be honest with you, it's engineering, boilermaking is physically and mentally hard work. So you need to, it's all about the mindset, to be honest with yourself. For the other woman out there, your mindset needs to be strong. You need to tell yourself, I can do this.
Yeah.
I need to do it. And to be honest with you, it's amazing when, like, for example, when you're done doing your whole job that was given to you for the day, when you're done and you look at it and you think to yourself, wow, did I just do that? You are so proud of yourself.
And it does sound exciting. And so
It is.
So you studied your course, and at the beginning of this, you said you've been working now for 4 years.
Yes, I have.
So where do you work? What exactly are you doing right now?
So at the moment, I am finishing off my apprenticeship, and I'm preparing myself for my red seal, in boilermaking.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Now I know Rhoda wants to ask you something.
So so for me personally, I mean, looking at you now, and this is probably a very common question I would say whenever you go for an interview, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay. In the next 5 years, obviously I'll be qualified as a boilermaker, but I also see myself as a quality controller.
Okay.
So to put it in short for you, what the quality controller is. So quality controller ensures that the job goes out and it meets the necessary quality specification of the client's needs.
Okay. So that is what you're looking
Wow.
after. But
Yes.
there's, you know what, and we just wish you amazing, and I love your passion.
Yeah.
The Rhoda,
Just almost
Rhoda is
definitely
almost
make
like-
me very excited.
She's almost kicking me under the table here. Just like, loving your passion and the excitement and everything. And I just want to backtrack a little bit, Megan, on what you said earlier. And this is sort of a personal question I would like to ask you. At the time when you enrolled to study this course, was there a lot of females in your course, in your class, in your group?
No, to be honest with you, no. I think it was myself, and then I had another female with us in class back then, which was around about, you can say, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, 8 years ago, 8 years ago. But I tell you, because I'm back at Northlink, it's amazing when I'm sitting at college and I see there's so many females there that are also pursuing their dreams as welders, boiler makers, as mechanics, you know.
Yeah.
So when I sit at college and I'm doing my trade test, so we have our breaks, and then I look at the college and I think to myself, well done, Northlink. You guys are doing a good job.
Do you know what? I love that. I love that because we've been saying it the whole time. We want to get this, we want to get from the students' perspective
yeah.
as well. Because it's one side bringing you the side from our side, from the Link show, and you hear everything from Northlink. But it is also very important to hear it from somebody
From
who's
somebody.
gone through it, which is important.
So like they always say, the proof is in the pudding.
Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So
I
basically,
agree.
Megan, in conclusion, this being the month of August, which is obviously celebrating us women, and you know, we all women day-to-day basis, we are filling in different jobs, be it in the
Yes.
social, business, personal. You know, we ladies at the end of the day play a very big role in, you know, making this country go forward. So
Yes.
I want to find out about you. What is your message to all those young girls and women out there, seeing that it's Women's Month?
Yeah. Okay. So what I would like to say is, my mother, who only had a standard 7 certificate, is the reason where I am today. Her perseverance of me completing my boiler making of getting my diploma in boiler making is the reason. It inspires me to become good at what I do. You see, what I also want to tell you is my mother taught me the value of being a mother, of being a daughter, a carer. She's my rock. And I am strong today because of her. So I would like to encourage all girls and women out there to stand up for themselves, be confident in what you do, and make sure that you are heard. Never give up, because we can do it. Happy Women's Day. Or Happy Women's Month.
Megan Brockman, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on to the Link Show and talking to
Yeah,
us.
thanks for having me.
The absolute pleasure. That is.
Thank you.
Yeah, Megan,
I love that.
Megan Brockman. You gotta love the passion. You
Oh,
gotta
yes.
love
Yeah.
the amazing message, that a very, very emotive message as well, emotional message that you get,
Yeah.
but uplifting like nothing ever, like you have never seen before. And that is what it's about. And we hear that in Women's Month as well.
Oh yes. We
But we're going to
definitely do.
touch on that in a short little bit, because we just want to recap the show, and there were some really great comments coming through as well during the course of it. So once again, thank you very much for that. Ongizwe, thank you very much, who says, wants to know if applications are open. So once again, I want to lead with this and just say, you know what, go straight to the website, www.northlink.co.za. All the information is there. And of course, like and share this, because this is just giving you a taste of what to expect. Jumzu says, proud to see Northlink College coming up with such a great platform, and this is just brilliant. And you know what, it really is. And then thank you very much for that, and of course for the wonderful comments and questions that we have received so far. Jabaka Muhammad says, well done to Northlink College to put this awesome, informative online show together. Perfect at the right time, and to watch it online, which is brilliant. Zuki's got questions. When is the next registration process open? Well, Zuki, all that info you go to the website at northlink.co.za, of course, and there you'll get all the information. For courses, different courses, and on which door and where to send the emails, and all of that. And of course, if you have any inquiries, you can forward an email to info@northlink.co.za. It is that simple.
True.
Thank you once again for all those comments and questions. But Rhoda, we found out some interesting stuff here.
Oh yeah, Dugo.
We found out some interesting stuff. So we found out exactly from the marketing recruiters when we spoke to Mohale and Damien right at the beginning of the show. And then they gave us all the ins, so we know there's 7 campuses, where they are, how it all started, which was brilliant. Clive Dube came on, bursary officer, who gave us real insight into that as well.
As
We
well.
spoke to Helmine Krogram, and you could see how excited she was just talking about all of the aesthetics and the hair
Aesthetic.
care
Oh, yeah.
and all of that. And then right at the end there, Megan coming on,
Yeah.
just blowing it out of the water,
Out
really.
of the water. I simply love that. And it really, she's put a cherry on top for the show just to finish off on a high note.
Yeah, it is really a high note. So what we are going to do with the Link Show, we will be back every Thursday with you in the month of August, where we will delve deeper into different faculties and, of course, give you more information and everything you need to know. But more importantly, it is an interactive show. So in the show, right here and right there, some of your questions will be answered, which is exciting stuff.
Very exciting. And then, I mean, there's so many questions that has popped up. And, you know, we've got our representatives online as answering these questions even immediately. You know, so next week, Thursday, so you put in your question in there, it gets answered immediately.
Yeah, definitely.
And if not, Dougal, you can then, as we're giving you all that information, just get in contact with them at the offices.
Yeah, as easy as that.
As
I'll
easy
remind
as
you of that
that.
again. It's www.northlink.co.za. So I'm very excited for the Link Show for next week, Rhoda.
Oh, yes, I'm very excited. I'm so looking forward to our subject choices and what we'll be talking to about next week. So you need to come and watch the show.
Yeah, you certainly have to come and watch the show. And as Rhoda always says, you got to subscribe.
And hit the bell.
And then we will see you then. So most of all, thank you very much to the guests who came on for sharing all their insights. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your amazing questions and comments that you have posed through the show. And don't forget to like and share this. That wraps up this episode of The Link Show from myself, Dougal, Rhoda and Beryl. Look after yourselves.
Bye.
Thank you.